Listen to me carefully, because if you miss this, you might keep struggling for the rest of your life. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here because I used to be one of them. Yes, I was a witch. And what I'm about to tell you is something many people will never believe, until it's too late. Every 28 days, your poverty can be renewed. Not by chance, not by bad luck, but by a system, a spiritual cycle, that many people are trapped in without even knowing. And if you're watching this right now, it's not a coincidence. It means something is already fighting for your attention. When I was deep in witchcraft, we didn't just attack randomly. No, everything was calculated. Everything followed cycles. And one of the strongest cycles we used was the 28-day cycle. Do you know why? Because it aligns with something very powerful in your life. Your body, your emotions, your patterns, your timing. Especially if you're a woman, but even men are affected. Every 28 days, we gathered. Not in the physical, but in the spirit. And names were called. Destinies were reviewed. Progress was checked. And decisions were made. If you had tried to rise that month, if you almost got a breakthrough, if money almost came, we would see it. And then, we would shut it down. You think it's normal that money comes, then disappears. You start something, then lose motivation. Opportunities come, then suddenly collapse. You always feel like you're about to succeed, but something pulls you back. No, that is not normal. That is renewal. I remember one woman. Her name was always on the list. Every month, she tried. Small business, failed. New connection, broken. Unexpected bill appeared. And we were behind it. Not because she was careless, but because she was consistent in effort, but not protected spiritually. And listen, this part is very important. We didn't need to destroy her completely. No, we only needed to reset her progress every 28 days. That way, she would stay stuck. Not poor enough to give up, but not free enough to rise. That is the trap. And maybe, that's where you are right now. You're trying. You're praying. You're working. But somehow, it's like something keeps pressing a reset button on your life. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that your struggles seem to repeat in cycles? Think carefully, because this is where many people miss it. For me, everything changed the night I refused to attend one of those gatherings. That night, I heard my name, not from outside, but inside, and something told me, if you don't leave now, you will never leave. I was afraid, because once you're in, leaving is not easy. You don't just walk away. There are consequences. There are forces that will try to pull you back. But I ran. I ran to God. And that's when I discovered something they never wanted us to know. The cycle can be broken. Yes, no matter how many years it has been happening, no matter how deep you are in it, it can stop. Because what they use to monitor you, God can use to expose them. What they use to renew your struggle, God can use to release your freedom. But here's the truth. Most people don't break free because they don't even know they are in a cycle. They just think, maybe next month will be better. And then the next month comes. And the same thing happens again. Listen to me. If you don't interrupt the cycle, it will keep repeating. There was a specific thing we feared. Something simple, but powerful. Whenever someone did it consistently, our control over them started weakening. We would lose access. We would lose authority. We would lose the ability to reset their life. And that's when everything would begin to change for them. Slowly at first, then suddenly. If you're ready to break out of this, if you're tired of starting over every month, if you're tired of unexplained setbacks, then you need to understand what I'm about to tell you next. Because this is exactly how they lose their hold on you. We feared consistency in spiritual timing. Not random prayers. Not emotional crying once in a while. No, we feared people who understood timing and stood at the edge of the cycle before we could act. Because the truth is, we didn't attack every day. We waited. We watched. And we struck at specific moments. The most important moment was just before the cycle completed. That was when we renewed everything. If nothing stopped us, we would re-establish delays, reinforce financial blockage, reassign monitoring spirits, reset progress back to zero. But there was a problem. A very big problem. Some people started to interrupt that moment. Not accidentally. Deliberately. I remember a man. Every 27th day, without fail, something would happen. We would prepare to renew his poverty like always. But before we could act, There was fire. Not physical fire. Spiritual fire. Prayers, but not ordinary prayers. Targeted. Violent. Specific. He wasn't guessing. He knew something was wrong. And he stood exactly where we needed access. And blocked it. The first time, we thought it was a coincidence. The second time, we got angry. By the third cycle, we started losing control over him. Because once the renewal fails, everything starts collapsing. The systems weaken. The access points close. The monitoring becomes blurry. And suddenly, the person begins to move forward without resistance. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Your problem is not just effort. It's timing. You've been fighting, but not at the moment it matters most. While you're relaxing, thinking the month is ending. That's when decisions are being made about you. And if you don't show up spiritually at that moment, they will show up. Let me expose something deeper. There are gateways connected to your life. Some are tied to your birth date, your monthly cycle, your habits, your patterns. Every 28 days, those gates open. Not by chance, by design. And when they open, access is granted. That's when financial drains are authorized. Opportunities are diverted. Helpers are disconnected. Confusion is released. Quietly, systematically. You just wake up and say, why is everything going wrong again? But from where I came from, nothing is random. We recorded patterns. We studied reactions. We knew when you were weakest. And many of you watching this, you have a pattern. End of the month. Pressure increases. Money disappears. Unexpected problems show up. Emotions become unstable. That is not coincidence. That is a window. And if you keep ignoring it, it will keep repeating. Now listen carefully, because this is where many people fail. Breaking the cycle is not about one powerful day. It is about positioning yourself before the renewal happens. You don't wait for problems. You stand before the gate opens. That's what that man did. That's why we lost him. He began to watch his patterns, mark his timing, prepare before the cycle completed. And when the moment came, he was already there, waiting, blocking, reversing, and we couldn't get through anymore. That is how people escape. Not by chance, not by luck, by understanding the system and confronting it at the exact point of renewal. There is something else we used. Something subtle. Something many people ignore. And that is what made it easier for us to access their lives every month. And that thing we used was agreement. Not spoken agreement, behavioral agreement. Patterns, reactions, habits. Every time you repeated the same fear, the same doubt, the same financial mistake at the same period, you were signing again. Every 28 days, we didn't just attack, you cooperated without knowing. That's how renewal becomes easy. We don't force doors open. We wait for you to leave them unlocked. End of the cycle. Pressure comes. You panic, spend wrongly, disconnect from God, isolate, complain, lose discipline. That moment is critical. That reaction is access. Once you respond wrongly, renewal is automatic. No struggle. No resistance. There was a woman we handled like that. Strong at the beginning of every month. Focused. Prayerful. Determined. But as the cycle closed, she changed. Tired. Irritated. Careless. That shift was our entry point. We didn't need power. We needed her pattern. And she never noticed it. Month after month. Same reaction. Same result. That's why some of you feel like something comes over you at certain times. It's not random. It's predictable. And it's being used. Now listen. This is where it breaks. You don't fight the outcome. You attack the pattern. The moment you behave differently at that critical time, everything starts collapsing. Because the system depends on your consistency in the wrong direction. That man I told you about, it wasn't just prayer. He changed his responses. When pressure came, he became more disciplined. When confusion came, he became more focused. When money was tight, he became more controlled, not reckless. That alone blocked half of our access. Then he added something else, something we hated. He began to speak before the cycle closed. Not casually, not emotionally, intentionally. He would declare against loss, against delay, against reset. Before we acted, he was already countering it. That created resistance. Strong resistance. Because words, when consistent and timed, establish authority. You think silence is neutral. No. Silence is permission. Every cycle you stayed quiet, we finalized decisions. Every cycle you ignored patterns, we reinforced them. Every cycle you reacted the same way, we renewed it. So the system continued. Now imagine this cycle approaching, but this time, you're alert. You're disciplined. You're not reacting the same way. You're speaking against it. You're standing before the gate opens. Access becomes denied. Once denied repeatedly, control breaks. And when control breaks, progress is no longer reset. That's when you see something different. Money stays. Opportunities remain. Connections hold. Momentum continues. Not because we disappeared, but because we lost legal access. That's the word, legal. We operated by permission, not just power. Take away permission, everything stops. But most people never get here, because they are too focused on trying again next month instead of stopping what keeps repeating the month. So the cycle continues. Now there is one more layer, the deepest one, the one that made renewal almost guaranteed in certain people. And if you don't deal with it, even if you pray and stay disciplined, it will still give them a way back. In the deepest layer was foundation ***. Not what you do now, but what was already in place before you even became aware. Family patterns, bloodline agreements, repeated cycles that didn't start with you, but are continuing through you. That's why some people fight harder, pray more, try everything, yet the same 28-day reset keeps happening. Because beyond behavior and timing, there is something underneath still giving permission. I remember cases where even when we lost access temporarily, something deeper would reopen the door the next cycle. Not because the person failed, but because the *** foundation was still speaking ***. Debts not physical, but spiritual. Patterns not learned, but inherited. Doors not opened by you, but left open for you. That's why breaking this is not just about discipline or awareness alone. It requires *** confrontation at the root ***. When I ran to God, this is where my freedom actually began, not when I stopped attending meetings, but when I started dealing with the foundation behind my life. Because once that root is cut off, renewal has nothing to stand on. No pattern to follow. No agreement to activate. No access point to use. Everything collapses completely. And that's when I understood something they never wanted us to know. The 28-day cycle is only powerful when it finds ***, something consistent to connect to ***, your pattern, your timing, or your foundation. Remove those, and the system dies. So if you've been experiencing money disappearing at the same time, opportunities collapsing near breakthrough, struggles repeating monthly, unexplainable pressure at certain periods, stop looking at it as coincidence. Trace it, mark it, interrupt it, confront it at the root. Don't wait for the next cycle to prove it again. Stand before it, because the moment you break one complete cycle without renewal, you weaken it. Break another, you damage it. Break it consistently, you end it. And when it ends, what used to reset you every 28 days will no longer recognize you. That's when your progress will finally stay. That's when your effort will begin to produce results that last.